In this video, we're going to add these little hatch doors that go on the side of the headlight. I noticed when looking at reference online that a lot of pictures there's a little port or a little door on the side of this headlight housing. So we're going to do that in a similar fashion to how we did the smokestacks and the little portal door hatches on top of the boiler there. So what we're going to do is left viewport, I'm in left, hit L, make sure we're there. Zoom into the headlight, create panel, MVH primitives are going to go to standard primitives, MVH primitives, tube cap, and I'm going to hit F3 just so I could see, and I'm going to go in the middle. It's roughly the center line. I'm going to just drag that out. Looks about the right size. I'll let go. It'll inset a bit, and there we go. We're going to make this 8 just because it's not a large item, and when we render this, we're not going to be that close, I don't think. So I'm going to go to perspective viewport, zoom. Let's hit F3. Okay, it's inside the headlight, so let's move it out. There we go. And now what I want to do, convert to editable poly. And now we want to come over here to freeform. And you remember earlier we were doing some stuff where we projected or conformed to the boiler. Well, now we want to conform to the headlight. So from this drop-down list, if it's not already selected, you want to draw on surface. And where it says boiler, it would either say pick or the previous object you're using. We click on that button. And let's just click. And there you see headlight 01. We have the same offset value from earlier, which worked well, so we'll keep that. No sense in making extra work. We can always adjust. And now what we're going to do is get the conform brush and make sure the values are proper. They're not. Full strength should be 100 and conform should be 100. Okay, and now paint that mesh. There it is. Single click because of the scaling of the mesh. It conformed real quick. Okay, click out of conform brush. Let's effect pivot only, center object, and we're just going to nudge that forward a little bit. It should be a head sticking off a little bit ahead of the surface. There we go. Okay, and expand the edit poly. Let's go to border. Select that border, shift and drag it back. Let's do 2, this way it doesn't get too soft. By adding that extra line, we'll have a tighter surface. Okay, and now let's select this inner border. We're still at border sub-object level. Select the border. Let's go to chamfer. Let's right click to zero that out and just slide it with your mouse. Your left button clicked. You can slide that slider up and down. That value looks good to me. Once again, we'll go to border. Sorry about that. Select the object again. Border. Select the object. Select the border. Shift. Drag that forward, shift, drag that forward again. And now we're going to go to scale, shift, and scale, shift and scale again. And now we can collapse. Let's do one more shift scale. And let's collapse that. There we go. What I'm going to do now is edge. I'm not going to select the vertical or horizontal edges. I'm going to select every other as we did earlier. I'm going to backspace. Now we have quads here in the middle. I'm going to go to top viewport. I'm going to zoom in with the Z key. And I'm going to take F3. I'm going to take all these verts. I still have spray can selected. You can go to the rectangle marquee if you like and make it easier. I'm going to select these verts. And I'm going to move them so they're more flush. Okay, we're just improvising. F3. And if we hit F4, let's add a turbo smooth to the top. 1, 2, 3 T's. There's turbo smooth. 2 iterations. Then we have like a little hatch. If you wanted to, you can go further. You could add hinges. Again, I think we have to prioritize and say what's important to have detail and what's not. If we back out a little bit, that's a nice looking model from this distance. We could add hinges and stuff if we're going to be this close to the headlight, but I don't know that we are. So let's just call that headlight door dash 01. Okay, and if you want one on the other side, which I think you probably do, I'm not sure how they work, but you can either do symmetry or you can shift and drag it to the other side as an instance. So I haven't shown you symmetry, even though it's a pretty commonly used thing. Let's go into the rollout for modifiers. Here's symmetry. F3, we can see which direction the symmetry is in. We don't want it that way. Y, Z is the proper direction. Turn off slice along mirror. Let's extend that. Let's click on mirror. And now move our gizmo, transform gizmo, and just see when it pops out the other side. There we go. Looks about right. And now anytime you make a change to the original model, when you turn on symmetry, the other model will have the same changes made, much like instance. So it's just a different way to do something. Worked well. I think it looks good. So I'm going to pause the video. And in the next video, we're going to create these little headlight, or they're just little lamps that are along the side of the front section of the boiler.